Hi guys, so I thought given the situation, the unprecedented situation that we're all in, I would take the opportunity through this channel to give some tips and kind of advice on a regular basis about how you can go more digital and how you can use digital to challenge the way you do business at the moment, because we're all going to have to do things in a different way over the next few months, who knows how long. So over the next kind of few weeks, or maybe even more, I'm going to try and release some tips, general tips and advice to you guys, which will hopefully help you through this very tricky period. So today I want to start with email marketing. And the reason I want to start with email marketing, just for those of you who don't know, email marketing is the process of using your email database to essentially market your products and services to those people. But I want to look at this from a slightly different perspective through these times, in that email marketing is a way of communicating with your customers and your clients about your products, your services, maybe educating them or helping them in some way, or just merely telling them what you're up to in these very tricky times. But if you don't know how to do it, or you've never done it before, and why should you, then maybe this video is for you. So it's a very cost-effective way of doing keeping up to date with your customers, which is probably why I've tried to keep it as the first tip. We're actually offering, we've got a product called OptixMail. We're actually offering our setup on that completely free. We normally charge a few £100 to do it, but we're going to offer that for free at the moment. There are sending costs which we incur and we need to charge on, but apart from that, and there's things like MailChimp as well out there, so I should say other good products exist, which you can look at too. So first of all, you need a tool, right? So you need an OptixMail, or you need a MailChimp, or other products. That tool will allow you to bulk send email. And the reason you need a tool is because if you do it through Outlook or any other kind of product that isn't built for email marketing, you've got a very good chance of being blacklisted. Your mail could get spammed or fall into people's spam folders, because these tools are built to send mass bulk emails. So make sure you've got a proper tool first of all. Then you need to make sure that you've got a database of clients, essentially. So you probably want to go through Excel or create an Excel spreadsheet of your clients that you want to communicate with. The very least you need an email address, but I would suggest trying to get a first name in there as well, because that means you can personalize the emails, which is always good to do. You need to do something called authenticate your domain name. So it sounds tricky, but if you work with someone who knows what they're doing, they'll be able to help you through that process. Authenticating your domain name means that when a receiver gets that email, it's less likely to be put into spam, because that domain has been authenticated as an official domain name, which is okay to send email. It's not guaranteed, but it's a better way of doing it. So authenticating your domain is the next thing to do. You can set up multiple lists. So my suggestion to you would be to, if you can, to segment your list. Now, if you want to just get something out there, put it up there, put it in one list, do it that way. Especially if it's like just a general update about what you're doing about coronavirus and how your business works. But if you want to get a bit more canny about it, then set up individual customer lists. So put customers into maybe the products they buy from you or the services they buy from you. Segment it, because once you've segmented it, and it does take a bit of work up front, you can then send individual emails to individual segments or individual lists. So you can get quite clever with it after a while. The next thing you need is a template. Now, basic template will do for the time being. We're not in a world here where we can worry too much about fancy stuff. Let's just get going. So getting a basic template, which most of these systems have in them, is fine. And then most of these systems will allow you to send HTML emails and plain text emails for those of the people that are receiving it. Depends what they've got, but then you're at least giving them those different options. And again, that's why you need a good tool to do it. If you're going to write emails, make sure you put calls to action, CTAs we call them in the industry, calls to actions in them. So you could just write a blank email or blank email. Don't write a blank email. You could just write an email with just plain text in it. but use the opportunity to point people out to things, point them out to your website, point them out to where they can find more information or product information or services, or point them out to your social media and ask them to join you in that space, especially now when you need people to come together as kind of a community around you. Then actually ask them to do things, because people are more likely to take action if you ask them, believe me. What else is there that I should say? Send times. So your audience is going to be different to my audience, right? The people that subscribe and want to hear from you are going to want to know about things at a different time. So play with the times that you use to send out email. Some people might be best to send email in the evening. Some people might do it first thing in the daytime. Again, we are in a topsy-turvy world right now, so it could be that you're better off sending it at lunchtime because everyone's at home and that's when they're going to view their email. Who knows? You need to play with your audience and find out which works best. And that's another reason for having a good tool as well, is that you can get stats on it. So you'll be able to see who's opened it, when they opened it, what they clicked on, all of this kind of great information. And you just need to watch those stats and see over a number of campaigns how those change and how those adapt. And then you need to work out what's right for you and what's not. So that's my message today. My tip today is get thinking about email marketing for yourself. It's very cost effective. There's free tools out there to set up. You know, you will have send costs with anything you do, but get out there, start doing it, start communicating with your customers, talking to them about what you're up to, how you're handling this situation, how they can continue to buy from you their products and services. And yeah, just keep in contact with them. Over communicate is the advice a lot of people are giving when it comes to, you know, remote working. And this could go internally as well. We haven't even talked about that, but internally with your staff, just keeping them up to date with what you're up to from an email perspective. Although you might use tools like Slack and stuff like that for that. But anyway, I go on and I didn't want to. So I'll be back with more tips over the next week, 2 weeks, as much as I can, just to give you as much help and advice really as I possibly can. Given the situation that I'm in and the expertise that I have, I just want to share it with you guys. So I hope you're all okay, and I will see you next time.